Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another video. Today I'm going to be talking and more likely just gushing about the Lightning Thief musical. So I was extremely lucky and got to go see this last night in Worcester, and oh my god, it was fabulous. I remember vaguely hearing about the Lightning Thief musical back when it was like roughly happening, and I kind of forgot about it. And then I learned that the soundtrack was out on Spotify, and I decided, you know what, let's give it a listen. I'm curious. And I distinctly remember listening to Good Kid first, and I was hooked from there. And when I heard that they were gonna have a tour stop in Massachusetts, about an hour away from where I live, I decided I needed to go. But yeah, just for the last month, I have just been listening to the soundtrack on repeat, and I love the soundtrack. I feel like the soundtrack alone captures the book and just the essence of the book so much better than either of the movies did. Like, when I was listening to Good Kid for the first time, first thing that came to mind is, well, they did a better job, like, grasping some of what Percy's going through, what he's likely feeling, and expressing that better in one song than both the movies did combined. So yeah, the songs were great. They were fun, they held true to the spirit of the book. Just one thing that I think the movies just were trying too hard at, they were trying to take themselves too seriously, I think, or at least that's what I feel now looking back. I feel they were trying too hard to be cool and serious, and it was just missing a lot of the fun, like, campiness and humor that is in the books. So let's be honest. In Percy Jackson and just in Rick Riordan books in general, while yes, there are some very serious things going on, there are very serious scenes in some of the books, it's pretty lighthearted overall. There's this light funness to it, and when I think of Percy Jackson, or just any of the Demigod books, I think fun. They're fun reads, they're fun to read, they're fun to think about, the characters are fun. Just fun is one of the first things that comes to mind when I'm reading Percy Jackson. And this musical was fun. It felt like the casts and the songwriters and just everyone had fun taking part in this production. They enjoyed what they were doing, they had fun with it, they didn't take themselves overly seriously, and that is something that I can enjoy. They managed to capture the fun and the joy of the books, in my opinion at least. Like, throughout the show, I just found myself smiling so much, like my face was hurting by the end of the show. I found myself, bobbing my head to the music, and it was I feel so repetitive for saying it, but it was fun. And then, there's the lovely fact that they actually held true to the plot of the book. There's none of this, really random stuff with Persephone's pearls. They stuck true to the book, which, naturally, as someone who loves the books, I greatly enjoyed. Can they get everything that was in the book onto the stage? No, naturally not, because God, how long was it? Alright. According to Goodreads, it's 375 pages. Naturally, translating that many pages into a production or even a movie, you're not going to get all the content up there. Or if you do, it's going to seem really rushed and not well done. But, even when they didn't have every little interaction that happened on the quest to the underworld, they threw out some little, they managed to throw in a few little things in reference to things that happened. Like the Lotus Flower Casino. It was mentioned, it had a brief little cameo, but, the full, Lotus Flower Casino scene didn't happen. Which, understand, 2-hour performance, you can't fit 375 pages worth of content in that span. So, I like how even when they didn't have, the full scenes of things that had happened, they would throw out, little throwaways towards it. Which was nice, it was enjoyable, and, it got some laughs out of me. Also, that's one thing I was doing quite a bit during the show, other than smiling like a fool. I was doing quite a bit of giggling at some of the dialogue. But yeah, that, the bus scene, a few other things they had to kind of gloss over a little bit, but they put enough about them in it to kind of show like, yeah, we know this happened. So it made like the quest from the journey to Camp Half-Blood to the underworld entertaining. So yeah, I was way too excited to film this, so I didn't make any notes, so I'm kind of blanking on things. I also really enjoyed the direct lines of dialogue they put into the musical. Just whenever I remembered a direct line of dialogue, I was kind of flailing in my seat a little bit like, yay! Direct line from the book! Two other great things that were mentioned in the musical but not in the movie. Talia and Kronos. I did like how the dream sequences were done. I thought it was very simple but like appealing. And you know, I like the fact that they were in there at all. Cause you know, the big overlying plot in these books is Kronos is trying to break free with the help of Luke. But yet, you know, that wasn't mentioned at all in the first movie. And, you know, I don't believe Talia was mentioned at all either. So I like how we got some of that. So now if we get musicals based on the other books, you know, that those plot points are kind of in there now. They're not going to be rushed in and added in at the last minute, kind of like how things were going in the Sea of Monsters. The movie of Sea of Monsters, I mean, not the book. And while on that topic, I just gotta say, I really, really hope these guys continue on and do other musicals for the other Percy Jackson books. I know if there's a Sea of Monsters one in the future, I will go and see that in a heartbeat. I will happily drive to like the far reaches of Western Massachusetts, which is on the totally opposite end of the state from me, by the way. I will happily drive all the way there to see a show if needed. Hell, I'll be happy to drive to another state to watch it if needed. I would love to see more Percy Jackson musicals. Just like how if they do another tour for The Lightning Thief, I'll probably very likely go see that again too, just because I enjoyed it so much. Like, I would very, very happily go see this again. And I would definitely recommend anyone who enjoyed the books to give the musical a shot. Like, go listen to the soundtrack on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Whatever you use, it's on iTunes too. You know, give a few songs and listen, see what you think. If you like the songs, I highly suggest going to see the musical if you have the opportunity. Because it is definitely worth the watch. Like, the movie burned me. The movie I'm still bitter about. But this adaptation, the musical adaptation, it makes my heart happy. Just this musical makes my younger self so, so happy. This is the adaptation that I would have loved back in the day. It captured the essence of the book so well. It was enjoyable to listen to. It was enjoyable to watch. And it just makes me so happy that it is a thing. And it is definitely something that I think anyone who is a Percy Jackson fan should have a chance to see. And also on that note, one thing that I love, like when the tour was starting, there's a Twitter account that was formed at H Half-Bloods called Help the Half-Bloods. I'm probably gonna word this very poorly, so I apologize in advance. They basically are set up to help kids and people who want to see the musical but might not be able to afford it, and people who are willing to help others be able to afford a ticket, to donate, and it's just a really awesome cause. And when I saw this stumble across my Twitter feed, it made me happy. It's just, in my years of observing fandoms and the internet, both can be kinda lousy. The internet can be a horrible place, and fandoms can be very toxic. That is one thing I've learned with my, decade plus on the internet. But this Twitter account being made and helping people, it reminded me that the internet can also be a lovely place, and fandoms can be fantastic things. Accounts like this are why I love the internet so much, and why I love fandom so much. when fandoms come together to help others in their fandom. So, if anyone wants to help someone else have a chance to see the musical, or if you want a chance to see the musical but might not be able to afford it, I suggest checking out the Twitter account. I will link it down in the description. And if the creators of that account ever stumble across this video, which I'm partly doubtful, but whatever, if you happen to stumble across this video and get this far in the video, I think you're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. And on the topic of social media, I absolutely love the person or persons who run the Lightning Thief Musical Twitter account. Just, if you guys stumble across this, you're also amazing, and some of the tweets you guys make my day. I cannot for the life of me see the timestamp on this video so far because I am blind without my glasses, but I have a feeling this video is becoming much longer than I had planned. So once again, I thought the Lightning Thief musical was amazing. I'm sorry that this came off as really unorganized and very gushy and not well structured or worded. Yeah. Once again, if you have a chance to see the musical, highly, highly recommend it. Highly suggest you do so. It is worth it. If you're wary because you're still burned from the Lightning Thief movie, do not worry. It is nothing like the movie. It is infinitely better than the movie. So, yeah, that's it for this very rambly, very gushy video, and I hope to see you guys next time.